Unfortunately, there's a disproportionate of racialized folks and indigenous people in the foster care.
Quebec's youth protection has changed its adoption registration form to no longer allow potential parents to select a preferred race for their child. While this allows youth to be adopted without racial bias, some say it impacts the opportunity for children to find culturally appropriate homes.
I think identification is really, really important. And keeping that identity is important.
If you look at adoptions, for example, that are interracial, I do think you have a responsibility to educate your child on the culture you're adopting them from.
The adoption process included an application form that asked potential adoptive parents to describe what kind of child they wanted, including age range, sex, health status, and race. Parents only needed to check one of the options for race, which included white, black, mixed race, Asian, or indigenous.
They're mostly white people that are choosing children, right? So they're going to choose people that are most like them. So this is why you have a lot of black children and a lot of, indigenous kids in the system.
The forms now do not ask explicitly for parents to select a race, but now they're asked, would you accept a child from a different cultural or ethnic background than yours? And how would you prepare for the cultural needs of the child?
You want bonding, you want the child to feel acknowledged and loved exactly for who they are.
Nakuset, a survivor of the 60s scoop who was adopted into a family different from her own culture, knows firsthand the impact of not being in a culturally appropriate home.
If that child grows up without cultural pride, it is incredibly damaging. And we've seen this with, the 60s scoop, right? Like it can set their sort of self-esteem in the wrong direction.
In a statement to City News, a spokesperson for the Ministry of Health and Social Services says each question asked prior to the revised application had a purpose and that the objective was never to discriminate against a child or a family based on race, adding that the mission of youth protection in matters of adoption is to find a family for a child according to his or her needs and to reduce the risk of instability. The change in the wording of the application, while a good thing for Nakuset, it also means those part of youth protection and adoption agencies must do more to ensure the cultural safety of youth to avoid further harm.
Now that this new ruling has come down that they can't do this anymore, this practice, they need to step up.
In Montreal, Felisha Adam, City News.